everybody, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Some Jobe's out of town. Finally got some parts. Parts finally showed up. Yeah, those are the wheels that I was searching for a minute. I wanted an old school dragster front wheel. I didn't want a big wide front wheel. I've seen a lot of guys use wheelbarrow wheels. I didn't want a wheelbarrow wheel or tire. I wanted a spoke. I wanted a clean, nice, thin drag racing spoke. Make it look good. And yeah, they are 100% perfect. And I've been in here kind of working, really drilling, cutting, grinding, many more tabs to get everything reassembled. But we now have a spindle and some steering. And it took a bit to get this far, so let me just kind of show you guys what it took to get here. It wasn't easy. Okay. And really, I wanted everything nice and low, once again, just to be low. You know, I want the whole frame to ride low, but I wanted the steering to be underneath my cross members because motor plate goes right there. So steering had to stay underneath the motor plate for it to be okay, and then it'll come up back here. So I got the U-joint here, U-joint will come up to another U-joint here to my, I got my pivot on my bearings, so that's all good. That'll get welded up here. I think I'm going to use this piece of tubing up here, weld the mount on. It'll come up from the U-joint up here to have another U-joint, and I'm just waiting on that shaft to get here, so once this one gets here, yeah, we're going to be able to finish up the steering. Can't wait. And yeah, everything else is looking good. I think what I need to do too, if you guys can see, the rack isn't quite wide enough, or you know, these arms, I could cut these and extend them, but I think I can just take it off and put a coupler nut on here, because this side is left hand thread, this side is right hand thread, so you can just adjust it. See if I can show you guys here. There we go. So you can adjust it normally, you know, like you would on a normal steering rack. So yeah, so I still want that to work. And I think I may just put a coupler here, because this one's left hand thread, but this one over here is right hand thread. So I think I can get a coupler here to make this one just a bit longer, and then my spindles will sit straight, because you can see that one's a bit pitched in. But once I extend that out, it should be good to go. And let's go ahead and get these tires slid back on there, or slid on there, and see what it looks like. I think it's going to look muy bueno. Taco time. Oh, guys, we got us a dragster. It's looking so good. And you can see here now that I got the tires on. This one's kind of straight. That one's pitched in because my alignment's just a little bit off. Still need to do a little more adjusting, but I think I've got it adjusted out just about as far as I want to go here, you know, and be safe and still have enough going up in my adjustment. So I think I just need to possibly cut those and stretch them out, or put a coupler nut in there to be able to just adjust it over a little further. Oh, yeah. Looking so good. And two, if you guys can see how it's sitting, the entire front end is braced on this piece right here. It's sitting up. The axle weight is sitting on this piece, so that I'm actually putting everything in at ride height. And I've kind of got it to where my axles can still come up quite a bit, or, you know, my steering arms can still come up quite a bit. So when my suspension squishes down, you know, let me just see here if I can. It's definitely moving. And I'm liking how springy the springs really are. You know, once I put the motor back on there, there'll be a little more weight on here, and it'll squish it down just a little more. And then that way I can really fine tune my alignment once we get all the weight on there. And yeah, we're going to be good to go. Awesome. And I'm still waiting on my sprocket for down here. The one I'm going to test on there, it's a 30 spline drive. I got up here, it's a 30 spline drive that is the 428. This is a 428 heavy duty, so that's going to go in there. Once the other chain shows up, I got a 420 chain that's going to come back off the engine to the jack shaft. The jack shaft will go from 420 to 428. The 428 will go back to the rear drive. And then once those parts get here, we can get all that finished up. But I can pretty much tell now Love it when a plan comes together. Everything's fitting so good. So good. Wish I could give you guys a better shot of it, but it's kind of tough in this garage. Loving the way that steering turned out too underneath my engine. I was wondering how I was going to run the steering through the engine. Like, that's not going to work, guys. And that's kind of why I wanted to stretch it out a little bit so the steering can go under the engine, be able to come up and be able to come back here to where I'm going to be sitting, having fun, cruising my little hot rod. Yeah. Okay. I had to get everything moved out the way. It's kind of my first peek too. Oh, guys. Oh, that ride height is just perfect. Oh, I just got the seat sitting on there just so we can kind of get a look-see. Oh my goodness, that front end is perfect. That ride height is just spot on. Oh, I'm so glad I got that right. You guys may have been wondering, you know, seeing it on the lift, you know, nothing sitting level, it's kind of hard to get a idea of what it was really going to look like. Yes. We got us a badass mini T-bucket. Rear suspension looking perfect. Front end looking perfect. Let's just see if we can give it a little smush here. Oh yeah, riding great, no problem. And I'm just watching the steering. It's not wanting to move much at all. I got a little bit of bump steer, but not much. It's very minimal. Oh yeah. And I just got the little bit of wood in there. I just wanted to be able to see that ride height. It is just so perfect. I almost wish from the beginning I thought about putting this seat behind the rear. A front engine dragster seat would have been back here. And we would have been pulling wheelies. This is going to be much more sano, but the wheelie machine isn't far off. The frame is done. If we extended a little bit back here, I could put a seat back here, or I'm thinking do like put a butt hurt bar on it, put a little bit of weight back here, get that front end pulling up. Yeah. This thing weighs nothing, guys. It's a paperweight. Oh, get back in there square. Without the engine in there, this frame weighs nothing. It may look like some chunky, some chunky steel, but it's all hollow tubing, and it's gonna be light. And if we can get that front end to lift up, oh, yeah. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Way more to come. When in doubt, figure it out. The truth will set you free. Let's do a burnout and then a wheelie. Ha ha! Yeah. Love you. And one thing I almost forgot to give you guys a detail on. The angle finder, the layback on the Kingpins, you want that to be, I do 7 to 10 degrees. I got these right about 10. the ace angle finder. Right there is about 0. Right there is about 10. 0, 10. You got to have that layback, otherwise your steering will not recenter. Your steering will be wobbling all over the place. With the correct layback on your Kingpin angle, your steering straightens up whenever you're going straight. Your steering wheel won't do nothing funny. Life is good.